right, welcome everybody into Valley News Now. We're doing things a little bit differently today, this afternoon. Something we want to start doing on Fridays now, giving a kind of a weekly recap of some of the top stories of the week. Now, how are we deciding what our top stories of the week are? That's a great question. I'm very glad you asked. We're going to decide the criteria by the most viewed stories of the week. So these are in order of views on our Facebook page. I just checked this afternoon, so it should be as up to date as it possibly can be. And we're going to start off with, I kind of lumped two incidents together, but they were far and away the most viewed things that we had on our website, valleynewslive.com this week and across all of our platforms. Shooting incidents in both Moorhead and Fargo. We're going to start with the Saturday morning shooting in Fargo. Now, this occurred just after midnight. We had this video from the scene that day from our partners at Flag Family Media. They found, when police responded just after midnight, they found a man with a gunshot wound. We're going to go ahead and pull up some more information for you there. There we go. Found a man with a gunshot wound. Told police there was a physical fight before the shooting. The suspect was described at the time as a, this is a quote here, scruffy-looking white male wearing a red shirt. At this point, we haven't gotten any updates on this incident at this time. We have, of course, reached out and we'll be following that for more developments as it continues, but it's just another incident in a long line we've had recently. And that didn't stop when we go across the river either. There was another incident in Moorhead the very next day. Now, this one was described as a critical incident on Monday night. Police responding to a disturbance in the 2400 block of 3rd Avenue North. We have some video from that scene as well that day. I believe viewers sent this one in. I'm not entirely sure on that, but police responded to a disturbance in the 2400 block of 3rd Avenue North. Moorhead police confirmed in a press conference that, later that day that when they got on scene, they were met with gunfire, so SWAT was called, the Red River Valley SWAT team. More gunfire was exchanged after SWAT arrived on scene. 2 men were struck at the time. 1 died on the scene and another later in the hospital. And we got all of that information in that aforementioned press conference. The BCA has now taken over the investigation of this one, and this was an active scene for quite some time, well into the following day. Again, we're waiting on some identification from the BCA on this. We have reached out for more information, as well as who fired the shots, whether or not the deaths were a result of gunfire from police. We have a lot of questions on this still waiting to be answered. We are, of course, working on that, so be sure to stay tuned right here to our channels on Valley News Live. Moving on, an update to the numerous situations we had on August 3rd. This one related to the assault that happened downtown. This is another one of our most viewed stories of the week. It's a tragic turn in the downtown assault case. The victim dying in the hospital. 55-year-old John Pilcher, he was severely beaten the same day as 2 fatal shootings, just blocks away from one of the shooting investigations on that day. He died 10 days after that initial beating. Tobias Walker has been arrested for this incident. Right now, he's being charged with aggravated assault. Now, we did reach out to see if more charges will be added after this most recent development, which is, of course, the death of the victim. We reached out to see if more charges will be added, but the prosecutor in this case couldn't comment at that time. That means now 3 deaths stemming from these August 3rd incidents between 2 shootings and now this assault. The hits just keep on coming here in our area. And another tragic story from over the weekend, a beloved member of the Grafton community was identified as the victim of a drowning incident out in Cass Lake, Minnesota. John Comstead exited a pontoon into Cass Lake to work on boat motor problems, and he didn't resurface. The school releasing a statement remembering him as a father and dedicated member of the spoiler community. I worked with John a little bit in my time as sports director here. The release from the school saying that he had a quick wit, big heart, love for his children, and commitment to students and his staff. And they added that he'll be greatly missed. A funeral is going to be held for him on August 16th. They are setting that up in the Grafton High School gym. Harrison Prey is going to be making his way up to Grafton for that story. And we're going to have more on that as that community rallies together in memory of this well-beloved athletic director up in Grafton. Some weather news in the top of our leaderboard. One of the top stories of the past week, some reports from the severe storms we saw back on August 8th. I Remember that very well. I thought my windows were going to break in my house, but we didn't get the worst of it here in Fargo. 4 EF1 tornadoes were in the Grand Forks area, and we have some storm damage video that I'm going to play as well from that Grand Forks area. Summer Schnellbach from the First Alert Weather Team says that the first tornado 3 miles southwest of Larimore, the second in Mackinac, 105-mile-an-hour gusts there, 110-mile-an-hour gusts in a third tornado. That one was north of Grand Forks, and then a fourth in Grand Forks with 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts. There were intermittent touchdowns for that one as well along a 4-mile path. So another event in this rocky summer that we've had weather-wise, and the weather team has broken down kind of what has led to this more eventful summer pattern with all the weather events that we've been seeing. You can find that full breakdown on our website, of course, and we do have some storms for parts of our viewing area tonight as well. I was listening to Lisa Green's report here on the VNN desk a little bit ago. Be sure to download the Valley News Live weather app to stay up to date on that. Now, the fifth most viewed story on our website is interesting because it's not local per se. It's in our region for sure, but it got a lot of traction on our website. We're going to go ahead and pull that up. A record-breaking meth bust down in Sturgis, South Dakota. We had some reports from our sister stations down there. Look at this. Police arresting 42-year-old man carrying 207 pounds of crystal meth. The driver identified as a non-citizen and is actually in immigration proceedings. And this all started with just a speeding violation leading to the seizure of 207 pounds of crystal meth. For those of you curious, because I was a little bit curious about this as well, the street value for 207 pounds of crystal meth is apparently worth about $12 million. The governor of South Dakota calling it the largest bust in South Dakota Highway Patrol history. That's actually the first story to show up in our leaderboard that wasn't local, that wasn't one of ours. But again, a lot of attention, not just in our region, but nationally for a 207-pound meth bust down in Sturgis, South Dakota. Well, that's our week in review right now. Obviously, a very eventful week yet again. We're going to keep tracking all of these events as they come, and we have plenty more updates to come for some of the investigations that we currently have ongoing. Be sure to stay tuned to our channels here at Valley News Live. Download the VNL News and weather apps, and we're going to keep you up to date just as much as we can. But for now, from the Valley News Now desk, for your weekly week in review, I should say, this is new. I'm still getting the hang of it, of what it's called. I named it, but it's hard to keep track of some of these things. Anyway, for Valley News Now, I'm Devin Fry.